Okay, so before we do displacement, so we need to understand like why even doing that. So again, this is what the example of the assignment look like. So maybe I can apply like a bit of displacement around this ground, or maybe like sand area, okay, or maybe into one of these bricks wall. Okay, so there are places where you can actually like make the object surface more detailed as compared to just using texture. Okay, so going back to Maya, I'm going to create like a plane, right, and I'm going to create a light, right, very simple light, and render and see how it goes. Okay, just a simple flat plane now, and I want to save this, right, for you to see. And again, I'm going to create like a displacement. Okay, first I have to assign new material, and I want to use redshift. Okay, go to redshift and click that, and I want to turn off my reflection. And again, I'm going to look at my hypershade. Okay, so click the object and select this arrow. And again, like if you're wondering like what's this like SG, right? So this is a shader, okay, whereas SG stands for shading group. Okay, so if you look at the option for it, okay, or you can tap here, click here. Okay, this is actually what controlling all the shader behavior. Okay, so let's say like you have Blinn or Lambert, right? And you look at the shading group. So this is kind of like control how the shader are supposed to be rendered. Okay, so you can like override, or you can change pretty much anything of this detail. Okay, so if you have like Lambert, right, and you want to render like using a redshift like shading group, it's also work. So it's a bit confusing, but this is sort of like controlling how these attribute is actually being rendered out. Okay, now so all the shading will have its shading group. Okay, that's something that you have to know for now. Okay, now in this particular shading group, right, I want to look at my redshift, right? So make sure you click this redshift tab or arrow, right, and make sure you choose the correct attribute, right, because there are also like displacement here. Okay, so what we want is this one, okay, something that is under redshift. Okay, and click this, and then you click file. Okay, because we're gonna put the file to define how the terrain are supposed to look like. Okay, and once you create the file, this is what you get. Okay, so it's very similar to bump and normal, but if you look at the connection, bump and normal will connect to its shading. Okay, whereas displacement will connect to its shading group. Okay, so this is the one that will be responsible on how the displacement are behaving, and this is where we can put the file. Okay, so again, I already have the file, so I'm going to open up the file. So this is my file look like. Okay, so it's just black and white picture, so white mean goes up and black mean goes inside. Okay, very simple file, and I'm going to click open. Okay, so everything's set in place. Now if you try to render, right, you're going to get something like this, right? So it seems like not working because there are some settings that we have to do. Okay, so again, click this plane, right, so select the plane, and you need to go to its like plane shape. Okay, plane shape 1. Okay, so if you rename your plane to whatever, right, you still need to go to its p-plane shape 1. Okay, now what you have to find is that you have to find this redshift section here. You click that, right, and then like there is this tessellation, and displacement. So the way displacement work is actually like, but they are subdividing this in the background, right? So Maya will do this dividing during the rendering process, and that's what we call like tessellation, right? So we need to activate that, because if we don't, the displacement won't work. Okay, because displacement require like a lot of little faces to be applied to the object. Okay, and once you click the tessellation, the next thing is that you have to activate the displacement feature or displacement function. Okay, so there are two things you have to do. This one, activate the tessellation or the division they call, and then the displacement feature itself. Now, once you apply to that, alright, then you render, and you're gonna get something like pretty awful, right? Like everything like blew up. Okay, so again, we have to manage, or we have to control like how much displacement is supposed to be happening to your object. Okay, so I'm gonna minimize this, and there are a few ways to control, right? So one easy way is that you can select this, okay, and you go to its hypershade. Right, under displacement there is a scale. Okay, so let's change that to, right now set to 1. Okay, let's change that to 0.1, and let's save this one and render again. Okay, so I get much more manageable result. And again, if I change this to 0.01, right, and I get something like this. Okay, still a little bit too much maybe, and I can put like this maybe, right? Not too visible. Okay, something maybe like that. But yeah, maybe still too much. Yeah, so this is how you create like detail on the terrain like really fast. Okay, let's try one more stuff. So let's put this back to 1. Render. Let's see if I can change this from displacement scale there. So let's put this to 0.1, and I render again. Right, so it does pretty much the same thing. Okay, so you can change from this node, or you can go to here, go to its shape node, scroll all the way down, and you can change from that. Okay, so maybe 0.05. Okay, and I get like pretty decent detail for my object surface really quickly. Okay, but that's how displacement works.